Hello everyone, welcome to City Talk. I'm Thermice Bevelle. A steady drizzle on the 4th of July did not deter about 60,000 runners who hit the streets for the 44th running of the Peachtree Road Race. It's an Independence Day tradition that is celebrated as the largest 10K race.
After Atlanta Mayor Kasim Reed started the 44th running of the Peachtree Road Race, he too got in on it. He, like many of his fellow runners, found the precipitation refreshing.
Well, it's a family tradition, and it's a big tradition in Atlanta, and it's just so much fun and excitement, and even when it's raining, it's going to be good.
Extra police officers and surveillance cameras were in full force along the race route. Security was beefed up in the wake of the terrorist bombing during the running of the Boston Marathon.
We enjoy the race every year. I've never participated till this year. However, it's a tradition, and this year I decided to jump in. It's an Atlanta tradition.
Of course, the victims of the tragic bombing at the Boston Marathon were on the minds of all the runners at this year's road race. The Atlanta Track Club gave $26,000 to the Boston Athletic Association, which will be donated to the One Fund Boston, a foundation created to assist the victims of that attack. Several mayors came together at the Essence Festival in New Orleans to talk about crime prevention tactics. Mayor Kasim Reed and mayors from New Orleans, Birmingham, and Newark discussed ways to reduce violence and murder in America. Last year, 83 people were murdered in Atlanta, the second lowest number of murders since 1969, compared to New Orleans' rate of 193. Reed said Atlanta's youth crime is down. He mentioned how Atlanta opened every recreation center in the city so kids can have a place to be. Atlanta is working on strengthening its police force by having 2,000 officers. New Orleans' budget allocated funds to support nearly 1,300 officers for its police department. Residents in a Southwest Atlanta neighborhood got their wish. The city of Atlanta tore down an abandoned apartment complex that the community complained about for years.
Today, the City of Atlanta is taking another major step towards protecting the Zone 4 community.
A demolition crew removed a longtime eyesore. They knocked down the vacant Cornerstone Apartments at 2031 Allison Court. The police department's Code Enforcement Division is working to clean up blighted properties in Atlanta. Councilwoman Keisha Bottom says the vacant apartments were negatively affecting quality of life. She says the community was very diligent in making sure that the city held up its end of the bargain.
And we know how important this demolition is to this community, and we know that so many of you have worked so very hard to make this happen.
APD got approval for the demolition after many say it was a breeding ground for crime.
And we know from the police department that so much that we know in terms of crime patterns, etc., are related to the state of our communities.
Public safety is much more than solving violent crimes. It involves protecting those that live in uninhabitable buildings and cleaning up communities with blight, such as the apartments at 2031 Allison Court.
The City of Atlanta will continue to target blighted properties throughout the city. Recent studies show that the second leading cause of death for kids between the ages of 1 and 14 is drowning, and that nearly 40% of Americans don't know how to swim. Well, here in Atlanta, the Department of Parks and Recreation is providing free swimming lessons to children and teenagers between the ages of 4 and 18.
One,
so you know what to do.
2, nope, you can't hold your nose.
Look at what they're doing.
Can't hold your nose. 3, 2, 1, face the water, face the water. Very good job.
Today, children at the Pittman Park Recreation Center are learning how to swim. Eric Erickson is the Aquatics Program Director for the City of Atlanta.
What we're trying to do is raise awareness about the value of swimming and learning how to swim from both a safety standpoint and plus an activity standpoint.
Lessons are offered every Saturday morning at the Pittman Park Recreation Center. To register, visit atlantagA/iParks. Residents joined Councilwoman Nadalyn Archibong and Commissioner George Dusenberry for a ribbon-cutting ceremony for a new and improved Cabbagetown Park. The park is named after Esther Peachy Lefevre, a local community activist whose voice helped inspire urgency behind social and moral change in the South before and during the Civil Rights Movement. Improvements include include the installation of brand new playground equipment, an iron fence, a granite wall around the perimeter, and new sod and trees. Construction of the Atlanta streetcar is moving along. Work is underway in all phases of the system, including building the poles and overhead wires that will power the vehicles and relocating utilities under the street. The streetcar should be operational by the second quarter of 2014. The 2.7-mile route from the Martin Luther King Jr. Historic Site to Centennial Olympic Park is scheduled to run 7 days a week. Atlanta's Old Fourth Ward Park was alive with activity as people came out to celebrate the Arts Festival held in this newly renovated historic park.
Let's put it on a fishing rod, just like every fisherman would like.
The festival was a 2-day celebration of arts, and organizers say the inaugural festival honors the rich history of the surrounding community.
We're loving showing off this park, and the groups who put it together between the Beltline, the Conservancy, and the Old Fourth Ward, those groups have really dedicated themselves to working on this environment.
A city program allows teens to apprentice as artists and get paid for their work. City Talk's Troy Danicus introduces us to art school and one of its many fine young artists.
I began at first as just drawing simple pictures.
Stephen Palmer is a budding young artist.
Then I kept going at it, and I really liked doing certain things. So from then on, I started sketching my own self out and doing anything that really resembles art.
And a student with art school, a summer program offered by the Office of Cultural Affairs.
This program is kind of a hidden gem. There are maybe 3 or 4 programs in the nation like this, where students actually are paid to master one particular medium.
Art school is exclusive and requires its applicants to interview for a slot in the 8 weeks long program. Students not only get to immerse themselves in what they love, but they get paid for it as well. There are several classes to choose from, including drawing, mixed media, and even dance.
5, 6, 7. I feel as though this is the cream of the crop. This is the young budding talent that's happening within Atlanta today.
The 17-year-old is in Travis Theus's mixed media illustration class with 5 other students.
The kind of people that I met here are really friends of mine. I'm around people who do what I do, who like what I do, and the kind of competition I'll be heading against when I go out inside the work field.
Travis says the friendly competition between students is beneficial.
And of course you want to stand out, so it takes that drive. It takes that willingness to go the extra mile.
Stephen has been in the program for 2 years, and in that time, Travis has seen him grow artistically.
He's grasping on technology more, just to, using different tools to redefine his creativity.
Go into Photoshop and erase all of these lines that you might not want.
Mentoring the students is an important function for the instructors. Francine Stowe-Sinkler is an artist herself and a teacher with Atlanta Public Schools. She began teaching art school in 2004.
And usually they have a preconceived notion of what art is. And my responsibility as their mentor is to challenge that and to expand it.
So I wouldn't say this one's not successful, I would say it's not complete yet.
The program was recently recognized by the Obama administration as one of 50 exceptional programs across the country. That's because part of art school's mission is to prepare these young folks for an art-related career. For Stephen, that means a future in graphic design or animation. After 8 weeks, they are required to participate in a mock exhibition where the students present their work in a professional setting. But for now, Stephen is just happy to do what he loves.
Art is one of the best ways that I know how to express myself, because through a picture you get the emotions that the person feel, you get all the different types of images that they see, you get to see how they see the world through their eyes.
For City Talk, I'm Troy Danicus.
Find out how to live a zero-waste lifestyle. And the City of Atlanta helps area kids get ready to go back to school. Stay with us. Zero waste management. It's a concept. Some even call it a movement. And it's catching fire around the country and right here in the hallowed halls of Atlanta city government.
Good morning. Today's occasion is significant for the community, as we are now equipping thousands of residents with better tools to help achieve our goal of eliminating, not reducing, but eliminating our recyclable materials from our landfills. Our long-term goal is simple: to divert 90% of our waste from landfills, and recycling is a huge part of that effort.
Sound impossible? Well, not for this guy, who is charged with the task of proving we all have the power to change.
My name is Jules Taraya. I'm the Zero Waste Manager for the City of Atlanta. On a beautiful day like today, or if it's not raining in general, I always try to take one of my alternative transportation pieces. I got this electric skateboard, electric scooter. Don't have to pay for parking, and it just looked too cool. It's the closest thing I can get to surfing here in Atlanta. Good morning, Miss Ernestine. What's up, Juan?
How you doing?
It's my job to try to improve our practices and policies so that we can divert more material from the landfill. Here in Atlanta, we want to be a top-tier city when it comes to sustainability. Like, if I give you all the bins for your precinct, will you distribute to your sub-precincts? So the city passed a policy last fall that says all city employees must recycle, but then also that we're no longer going to provide desk-side trash bins, rather desk-side recycling bins. Most things are recyclable. All paper, metal, plastic, glass, as long as it's clean and has no food contaminant, that is recyclable. The only thing that people really get mad at me about is their lunch. Their lunch at their desk. So you tell me I got to get up from my lunch, after I do my lunch? And yeah, I am telling you that. But you had to anyways, because you had to use the bathroom or, so it'll be okay. Really, it's a culture shift. You're having to get everyone away from just, oh, well, I don't need this anymore, throw it away, trash, to this is a valuable item. How can I integrate it back into my community? Plastic coated paper, not recyclable. Plastic is recyclable. Hey, Barbara. So I got your sign. I got your signs.
Thank you so much.
You said you just needed 3 more, right?
I needed 3 more.
Now, does that cover you for that's the 4th, 5th, and 14th floors?
14th floor.
Barbara Umbrus is one of our recycling champions. Instead of me having to go to all these different floors talking to people that I don't know about recycling, Barbara takes it upon herself to be a recycling champion and advocate for the internal recycling policy, increasing communication and gathering feedback so that I can try to make a better program for the city. The zero waste movement is very, very aggressive when it comes to waste management. Here in Atlanta, we want to be a top-tier city when it comes to sustainability. So zero waste is a journey, it's not a destination.
To learn more about the city's sustainability initiatives, or if you would like more information on how you can practice a zero waste lifestyle in your own home, visit our website, atlantagA.gov. Councilwoman Cleta Winslow was reinstalled as president of the Georgia Municipal Association's District 3 Central Region. The association is a nonprofit organization that offers legislative advocacy, training, and technical consulting services to its members. As a region president, Winslow helps the organization provide leadership and services to assist local governments in becoming more innovative, effective, and responsive. Winslow represents Council District 4 and has garnered praise for her efforts to revitalize the neighborhoods in that area. Councilwoman Winslow and the Atlanta Housing Authority hosted a back-to-school fest for kids who live at Centennial Place apartments. The students received a whole bunch of free school supplies. Winslow says they wanted to make sure children got the tools needed to have a successful school year.
So our idea was to make sure that our children got a good start and that they had some supplies where they could start off to school. And also, we wanted them to know that there are many other people other than their parents that care about them.
The group also enjoyed a 3-on-3 youth basketball tournament. The Atlanta Police Department and the International Brotherhood of Police Officers need your help with back-to-school supplies. You can drop items off at the Zone 6 precinct on Hosea Williams Drive. There are several drop-off boxes at the precinct. The one in the lobby near the front desk is for the community, and the other boxes throughout the precinct are for officers to drop off their donations. They need quite a few things. Their goal is to provide at least 50 families with back-to-school supplies. If you need more information, contact Sergeant Tanksley, and he'll be happy to help you. To keep up with Atlanta City government, tune in to ATL 26. City Channel 26 gives you a seat at the table for all of the important stuff at City Hall. And you can always email us, send your questions or comments to citytalk@atlantagA.gov. The City of Atlanta teamed up with Scana Energy to give away fans. Scana donated 500 fans to Atlanta Fire Rescue and the Mayor's Office of Constituent Services to be given to low-income elderly residents. Every year, the city gives fans to Atlanta seniors to stay cool for the summer. We go to Hartsfield-Jackson to take a look at fire safety and readiness protocols. And some Atlantans lace up for a good cause. We'll take you to Grant Park. Back in a moment. The fire department's Swift Water Rescue Team assisted in an out-of-state recovery effort. Atlanta Fire Rescue helped South Carolina and North Georgia public safety agencies locate the body of an Atlanta man who drowned on a Chattooga River rafting trip. Specifically trained in rescue and recovery procedures, 9 members of our Special Operations Unit traveled to Long Creek, South Carolina. Using sonar, Atlanta crews helped narrow the search area to find the missing man. Atlanta Public Safety went through training exercises earlier this year for just this type of search and rescue. In the wake of the recent plane crash of Asiana Airlines Flight 214, fire and safety officials across Metro Atlanta are reviewing all safety and readiness protocols. Channel 26 went out to Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport to learn about the plans in place by our own fire and rescue teams.
As a first responder, our hearts always go out to those in loss. But first and foremost, we start really reassessing how we do business here.
Chief Rod Smith oversees the fire rescue operations here at Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, where there are 5 fully operational fire stations. If there's ever an emergency like the recent plane crash in San Francisco, Chief Smith says that his staff of first responders are always ready to respond.
The federal standard to assist Hartsfield with meeting its index, which is an Index E, requires us to get our first crash truck on the scene within 3 minutes. A crash truck really is an aircraft rescue firefighting vehicle, and we refer to them as crash trucks. Those trucks are very large, 4-wheel drive, all-terrain vehicles. They carry anywhere from 1,500 to 3,000 gallons of water and approximately 400 pounds of foam. Our staffing for the airport is 76 people maximum on a daily basis, and that is for 24 hours, regardless of day or night.
And that is key because Hartsfield-Jackson is the busiest airport in the world.
The drivers themselves have to routinely go over and learn over and over and reassure and reinforce that they know the layout of the topography of the airfield so that they can get where they're going. Our goal is preparedness. We definitely do an excessive amount of training, but it's all worth it in the end if anything should happen.
Chief Rod Smith says airplane-related accidents are extremely rare at Hartsfield-Jackson. He says his firefighters are constantly training and always ready for any type of emergency. It's summertime, and that means festivals are happening throughout Atlanta. The National Black Arts Festival is celebrating its 25th year of giving Atlanta the best in art and culture.
So the National Black Arts Festival, it is really the nation's premier convener of arts, artists, and culture of the African diaspora. We take very seriously our role and responsibility in presenting, celebrating, and educating diverse audiences about the arts and culture of people of African descent.
The stage play Crowns kicked off the summer programming. Crowns was presented in partnership with NBAF. It's directed by Atlanta native Jade Lambert-Smith.
It's a story that is practically timeless. A lot of the play takes place in church, so you hear a lot of really beautiful traditional gospel hymns and spirituals that we all recognize. And it's an opportunity for Black people to congregate and just have a really, really great time.
Encouraging literacy in our community is paramount for NBAF. To that end, they present family book fairs at Fulton County Public Libraries throughout the city.
We have really a breadth of disciplines that we focus on, which is dance, music, film, theater, and the visual arts. We are very unique in that we really have a multidisciplinary focus. We also kind of have a multi-generational focus where we really do bring together folks who are young and old together with community spirit, all about educating and learning more about the arts and culture.
For a full schedule of the 25th Anniversary National Black Arts Festival celebration, visit nbaf.org. The City of Atlanta has online services available to make doing business with the city a little easier. On our website, you can pay water bills, municipal court citations, parking tickets, and apply for permits. Atlanta's list of online services will continue to grow as the city strives to identify more opportunities to provide access to government services via the internet. For a full list of online services, visit our website at atlantagA.gov. Grant Park was the site of the 6th annual HBCU Alumni 5K race, and this summer about 3,000 runners crossed the starters line in support of health awareness and college scholarships.
I did it right at about 22 minutes, 16 seconds, which was a great time for me, my best time ever. My son Trey was running with me. He was just behind me, so it's our first 5K this year, so we're proud just to compete and to finish.
Thank you for watching City Talk. I'm Thermice Bevelle.